Okay, I've actually already driven the car and did some videos of the drive, but I want to just take a quick walk around it just to show you like little things to be aware of, blemishes. I took it had PPF. The whole front of the car was wrapped in PPF, and it looked terrible and was starting to like almost like blister and turn brown. And so I took that off. But in coming off it and then buffing it in places, it like went through the paint. And so there's just a few spots like this on that front bumper where you can see it's just not great. I think that they put the PPF on right after the car was resprayed, which is great for keeping the thing in nice shape, but not when the PPF starts to go. So you can actually see here in a few places where like that PPF is still, that's how it looked up here all over. The car's extremely straight though. It doesn't look to be in any accident or anything like that. I mean, there's a couple of little like spots occasionally. As I pointed out before, it's hard to see from certain angles, but there's some like really faint like cracks there in the clear coat. Some kind of blistering of the paint right there on that trim. A little bit of curb rash on there. The tires are all brand new. I got like maybe 100 miles on them. See more blistering on that. Little like crack blemish right there. Actually, what's ironic is that my other car has one in the same spot. Must be like a stress area or something on these. Some fading of the black on the mirrors. Does have a modified exhaust, like a custom one done. I do think that it would be beneficial to get rid of the catalytic converter depending on where you live, just because honestly they tend to stink more if you remove the cats, but it makes a big difference on how well the 944 turbos run if you take the cat out. And it's a complicated exhaust system on these that makes it very tight in the tunnel where the torque tube is between the transmission and the engine. And so if you redesign that and basically put a straight pipe through where the cat is, they not only run better, it gives it like 30 more horsepower, and there's less chance of it rubbing. So it's, if I were keeping the car, I would do that. There's a little crack right here and that. Not a little crack, I mean that's significant, but a little chip there. And then this side has the same like blistering just on these trim pieces. The doors are nice because they're these door handles can be a pain, but these ones are nice and tight. Open and shut solidly. And then as I pointed out, there's this little stone chip right there. These have an antenna built into the glass, which is kind of a pain to replace. So I want to show you how quickly and easily it starts up just from the get-go when it's cold. It's hot inside though. You'll come a little bit closer to see it right here. But as you can see, totally cold. My hand on the exhaust. There's no, it's been sitting. It's a brand new battery. These things get really cracked and beat up. This one's in pretty good shape. There is one small crack right there, but it's in better shape than most of the ones I've seen. Yeah, that's about it. This cruise control works, everything like that. One of the main issues to watch for is these fuel lines here, because they can crack, and that's where you get fires on these. But this doesn't have any cracks or anything like that on those fuel lines. All the vacuum hoses and stuff seem good. Pause it real quick. It started. Okay, I just wanted to pause it real quick so it's easier to send you these video clips. But yeah, like I said, it's totally cool. And start it real quick. Whew. Why don't you come around this side? So everything that I can see, the gauges seem to work well. It's nice and warm in here right now, so this is very hot to the touch. The suede steering wheel is kind of nice because it doesn't feel as hot. As we talked about, there is some little cracks and stuff in the dashboard, and then there's this one little stone chip here. I don't know if it's been filled or not, so if not, it'll be good to fill it, just because they're kind of a pain to replace these windshields. Clutch feels strong on the car, it doesn't slip or anything like that. One thing that's pretty common with these is that, especially when they're cold and stuff, they'll kind of sometimes snick going into the gears. They have very sensitive synchros, and so this one's no exception to that, especially going into third gear. And so that's one of the reasons why I was thinking about trying to change out the gear oil, just because I suspect it's the original gear oil on the car. When I bought it, it had just rolled over 100,000 miles. It was like 100,002 or something like that. It was really just barely over 100,000 miles. And now it's at 100,675. The odometer does work on this car too. I don't know if you can hear that or not, but there's a little stick going in the third. Mostly you can feel it through the shifter. Starting to blow cold, which is pretty good. I mean, it's probably like high 90s today. When I fixed the AC, I ran it. It was 94 out that day, and I used a temperature gauge, and it was blowing like 38 degrees out of the temperature, or out of the vents when it was 94 outside. So probably has better air conditioning than even our new vehicles. It's still the R12, so I think that helps with that. notoriously lousy, but they work. Headlights, if I turn them on, they come on, but they aren't popping up. That's something that has to be manually done right now, but they do go down if you manually put them up. So it should be the relay, and I need to switch that out and try it. My other car had that same issue. They're kind of an annoying thing on these. All the climate control works good. And the car really drives nice. It's honestly better as a daily than my green 87 NA, because that one's modified, has stiffer suspension and stuff. The turbos have a lot better brakes. So this one has it's aftermarket Momo steering wheel. It's a tiny bit smaller than the factory one. The factory one's probably about right here. But it's still, at first I thought it would bother me, but I actually really like it now that I've been driving the car more. Our windows all work good. Same thing with that side. Hear it squeak. Same thing with the roof here. So the roof goes up and down, although the seal needs to be replaced. You can see that, the sunroof seal. So 944 only, it's a good site for that. Let's put that back down. And then there's some little bit of a drooping to the headliner here. It's a nice shape, but it's just drooping a little bit. Probably because it gets so hot up there. The seats are all in really good condition still. They're all original and still in really nice shape. There's no tears or anything like that. Really the only flaws on the interior, there's a little crack right here, and then there's I don't know what that is. This is the reset, and that doesn't seem to work for the trip, but the odometer itself works great. And that's the issue that a lot of these have, is the odometers will break, and this one works. Other than that, little cracks and stuff. I have the Blaupunkt stereo, it comes with the car. That's about it. You can see it idles good. And if you look, if you go and turn the camera around back, you can see we've been sitting here talking and it's been idling, and it's not smoking yet, but I think if we sat here for another few minutes, it'd probably start to smoke. It just kind of comes and goes. So try to rev it up. Yeah, it's not smoking right now. So that's why I haven't replaced the turbo yet. So it just hasn't seemed to really be quite there, but something's up with it. It does seem to do, occasionally if it's sitting for a long time, like if I'm washing the car and I let the car sit for 15 minutes while washing it, then you'll see it start to smoke and stuff like that. So you go ahead and turn the camera back. But anyway, that's about the latest, or the most information I can think of. This is in nice shape. It's not damaged or anything. There's the original tape containers there. Little ashtray. Even the shifter, like there's no tears in the leather or anything like that. It does not have floor mats. That's one thing that you'd want to probably get, is some floor mats for it. And yeah, if you think of other questions, just let me know.